Hello and welcome to your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 20th of August, 2015. The moon today is in the early portion of the sign of Scorpio as it's approaching its deepest state of debilitation. And when the moon is debilitated, well, it can lead to some feelings of lowness or not feeling quite so happy about a particular situation. And today you're likely feeling very driven to achieve a specific aim. And the warning signs are likely cropping up right and left as you're really trying to push for a solution and you're tempted to just disregard them. After all, a couple of minor adjustments here and there may help you to overcome those obstacles of which those signs are trying to alert you, right? Well, wrong. It could actually be that whilst you think you are doing something new by altering a specific approach, you are actually falling into the same old trap that you've fallen into before. Upping the ante in the situation that you're dealing with today in order to attain a victory will likely just leave you with the opposite, a defeat or a failure. Trying to wrest control at this point will likely cause problems. Making sure not to make the same mistake that you've made before will create solutions. Swati is an Artha-driven nakshatra. I think I even forgot to mention that the moon is in Swati today, but the moon is in the nakshatra of Swati, which is an Artha-driven nakshatra. And Artha-driven nakshatras have a specific goal that they're trying to achieve. Swati is governed over by Rahu, which is the north lunar node. The north node and the south node are the points that create eclipses. Okay? And Rahu is associated with our compulsive desires. Those desires that we act on without really thinking. And Rahu is also associated with Vayu, which is the god of wind. And there's a restless and very independent streak to the energy of Swati. It takes things into its own hands and is driven by its own impulse to break beyond particular boundaries. And there are some boundaries that are in place today, and you're likely trying to push past them. But it's actually probably good that there are some boundaries in place, and there can be some wisdom in listening to the signs and signals which you're coming up against today, because you're likely trying to manifest something which ultimately is not to your benefit. Or perhaps you're trying to manifest something that seems like it would be to your benefit, but you're using the wrong approach to do so. The lunar tithi today is Shukla Shashti. It's the 6th day of the bright half of the moon. And Shukla Shashti is associated with Kartikeya, which is the god of war, which is the Hindu god of war. He's a warrior god. So basically with Kartikeya, and Kartikeya is much more than that too, but basically with Kartikeya, you could try today to exercise a little bit too much control over a particular situation, thinking that you have the strength and the wherewithal with which to break through a barrier. And it may really feel like you do, but it's just going to lead to some problems further down the road. The solar lunar yoga today is Brahma, which means evolution. Brahma is also the creative aspect of God. So it's about growing, creating something new where something old hasn't worked, rather than trying the same old approach. You need to now try something new. You're coming up against resistance for a very specific reason. So if you look at the fact that you're coming up against resistance and kind of back off the situation and see how you might be able to approach it in a different manner, it could actually lead you to attaining whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. But you're not going to do it through force. You're going to do it through wisdom, by looking at the components of a particular situation in a different manner than you have done previously. Just to mention briefly to you, I am offering several different levels of astrological service. You should see a link in the lower left-hand corner of this video. If that link has been closed down already, there's one further down in the page. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 20th of August, 2015. Until next time, please take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.